Scoping in Python for loops. I'm not asking about Python's scoping rules. I understand generally how scoping works in Python for loops. My question is why the design decisions were made in this way. For example, no pun intended. The above will print 9, 2. This strikes me as weird. Foo is really just controlling the loop, and bar was defined inside the loop. I can understand why it might be necessary for bar to be accessible outside the loop, otherwise, for loops would have very limited functionality. What I don't understand is why it is necessary for the control variable to remain in scope after the loop exits. In my experience, it simply clutters the global namespace and makes it harder to track down errors that would be caught by interpreters in other languages.
A really useful case for this is when using enumerate and you want the total count in the end. Is this necessary? No, but it sure is convenient. Another thing to be aware of, in Python 2, variables in list comprehensions are leaked as well. But the same does not apply to Python 3.
Python does not have blocks, as do some other languages, such as C/C++ or Java. Therefore, scoping unit in Python is a function.
The likeliest answer is that it just keeps the grammar simple, hasn't been a stumbling block for adoption, and many have been happy with not having to disambiguate the scope to which a name belongs when assigning to it within a loop construct. Variables are not declared within a scope, it is implied by the location of assignment statements. The global keyword exists just for this reason, to signify that assignment is done at a global scope. Update. Here's a good discussion on the topic, this URL. Previous proposals to make for loop variables local to the loop have stumbled on the problem of existing code that relies on the loop variable keeping its value after exiting loop, and it seems that this is regarded as a desirable feature. In short, you can probably blame it on the Python community tongue sticking out.
One of the primary influences for Python is ABC, a language developed in the Netherlands for teaching programming concepts to beginners. Python's creator, Guido van Rossum, worked on ABC for several years in the 1980s. I know almost nothing about ABC, but as it is intended for beginners, I suppose it must have a limited number of scopes, much like early basics.
If you want to support the channel, please consider liking and subscribing.